Should a man open up and be vulnerable to his woman? Short answer, no. But let me tell you why. I actually have personal experience in this situation. And in the past, I've had relationships where I would open up and be very vulnerable. In fact, more vulnerable than I would like to admit in this video. And in the long run, I do not think it served me. And here's a couple reasons why. Let me ask you a question. What sort of frame do you want to hold in a relationship? Do you want your woman to look up to you with admiration, to respect you, to think that if anything goes wrong, your woman should have the idea that you can solve it? She should have complete faith in you to take life by the balls and contort any reality into whatever you want it to be because you are the man in her life. And in fact, any woman secretly, if not openly, is going to say that's what she wants. She wants a man that can handle any situation. She wants a man that when she has situations and problems that she's going through, she can come to you for your advice. In many relationships, your role as a man is oftentimes to be the voice of reason, the voice of logic. Because we all know that most women can be very emotional, which is fine. That's actually a power that they have. But it is your job to not be so emotional. Like you're breaking the dichotomy of the relationship. You were supposed to be the logical one. If we are speaking in terms of a masculine and feminine relationship. Now, some relationships work differently where maybe the dude is more feminine and the woman is more masculine. This isn't for you. But if you want to have a masculine and a feminine relationship, you want to be the masculine individual, you can't be breaking down all the time. You can't be crying in her arms and then expecting her to respect you. At least not to the degree that you would want her to. And I will say there are exceptions to the rules. You know what I'm saying? There are the 1 in a million girls that actually like that or think it's sweet. But oftentimes, bro, I find that to be just girls talking. Because you got to look at the results. You got to look at what actually happens. And I'll tell you, in my past relationships, when I would be very vulnerable and break down and tell all my problems, what she would say is that it's okay, like I'm happy you told me, like let's work through this and all that. But as time went on, she lost faith in me. She lost faith in my decision making because I didn't have faith in my own decision making. That's why I was breaking down. That's why I was coming to her for my problems. And that's just a bad frame to be in if you want to be the masculine figure in your relationship. Because each time I felt that I was just losing her trust. Not in trust of like, oh, he's cheating on me or anything, but my trust in being able to handle the challenges that the world brings upon us. So you have to decide what sort of man you're going to be. And I think it's going to be very beneficial for you to understand that your problems are your problems and it's best for you to handle them. Like as a man, I think you should want to handle your problems regardless. You shouldn't want to have to go to people or especially go to your woman about small things or things that are messing with you because she has her own problems, man. And for many of those problems, you are her rock. You are what brings her back to earth. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be waving in your masculinity when she needs you to be there for her, to be that masculine presence. And that's also how you are able to keep your woman feminine. Because the more you bring these masculine problems to her, the more you talk to her about all these things that you're dealing with, you got to understand, bro, that women do not live in the same reality that you live in. So a lot of these problems are genuinely brand new to her. Like, I'll give the example of my previous relationship. You know, she was short, very cute, fine as hell. So the world that she experiences is not in any way, shape, or form similar to the world that I experience. You know, it's not gonna be very often that someone would just openly yell at her, or they're not automatically mean to her for no reason. She doesn't experience that because she walks through reality as an attractive young lady. So it's a completely different reality than you. So for you to expect her to understand your problems and to actually have good solutions for your problems is a bit naive on your part. Because the world you guys are living in are two completely different worlds. Now, if you have problems, I would suggest you go to other masculine figures to help you with these endeavors. Because I will tell you guys, when I would go through these problems, it would be very rare that, and I don't want to sound mean, but it's just reality. It would be very rare that she said something that was actually helpful, besides just being there for emotional support. And that's really what you guys are going for. When you guys start spilling out all your problems to your woman and crying and boo-hooing and all that, what you're looking for is emotional support. Which, like I said, I understand the sentiment. I understand why you would want that, because that's why she's there for you. But you're really putting yourself in a slippery slope, because now she looks at you as a weaker individual. Even if she doesn't say it out loud, or she doesn't show signs of, like, subconsciously, she sees you as a weaker individual. She sees you as someone that cannot handle problems, that cannot handle adversity. And here's the kicker, bro, is that a lot of times when we have all these problems and we just feel like we really, really want to talk about it. I'll give you guys a recent example. I was talking to a young lady, and I really wanted that feminine touch. You know what I'm saying? I wanted that feminine energy. Kind of just wanted to let my problems out, and I decided against it because I was really debating it. I was like, I don't necessarily see this girl as being like the one or anything, so it wouldn't hurt that bad to just go out and say some of the things that are on my mind. But I decided to let me chill. And the thing is, like, by the end of that day, bro, I had already figured it out. And then once you have these problems and you go crying about it to someone else, and then you figure it out, now you're just gonna feel stupid for crying about it. That's one of the biggest things, bro, is that you think that you can't figure out these situations. You think that you can't handle whatever you're going through. But if you just fucking go through it, bro, you will realize you're much stronger than you think. And you will come up with the answers and you will figure things out. And just think about how much more of a masculine presence you're gonna have. That's probably like she can tell that something was off, that you whatever. But then the next day, bro, you figured it out. You're back on your shit. It's almost like shit never happened. And she just sees that and she thinks like, wow, like nothing can faze this guy. This guy is genuinely fucking amazing. Instead of crying on her shoulder and boo-hooing about whatever the fuck you got going on, you just go out and you figure it out. You make things happen. Now, in her eyes, you are a guy that makes things happen. You contort reality. You understand how amazing that makes you look in a woman's eyes? As a dude that can handle any adversity, that she never sees down for too long. Like, bro, she's gonna be soaking every time she sees you. And I would say it's an automatic, don't be talking to females about your problems if it's not someone that you're extremely vetted with. Like, if it's not your wife or a super long-term girlfriend, like 2-3 years plus at least, I wouldn't even consider going to a girl about your problem. Not a girl that you're talking to. Because like I said, it's only going to break the frame in the relationship. Because now you're asking her to be more masculine. You're asking her to come up with masculine solutions for your problems. And that's not her role. Unless you want that to be her role, then by all means, do what you do. But personally, I don't want my woman to be more masculine. That's my role. And the more you introduce masculine problems to her, the more masculine she will become. And eventually, what will happen is she will become the masculine figure in that relationship. Because you go to her for problems. Like, you guys understanding that? That's the big reason why you can't do that. That's like best case scenario. Because worst case scenario is she completely loses respect for you. She dries up like the fucking Sahara Desert. And she never looks at you the same. And that's far more likely to happen. Even if she doesn't tell you, bro, like, she has lost respect for you. So you really gotta weigh your battles. Like, I understand there's always that 1 in a million girl. And if you get to that point in a relationship, bro, I'm happy for you, bro. Like, that's some magical shit. But more than likely, bro, that's not the case. So I would highly suggest that you figure out your own problems. You understand what you need to do. You work through that shit, because it's going to make you look like the superhero in the relationship, bro. You can't go around crying on your girl's shoulder, man. Hey, like and subscribe. Doses.